So, my friends, the question, what exactly is this all about? I know there are lots of folks who are into the world of business, and there's a term that's used, and the term is agile. You've probably heard the word agile a few times. You heard people say, oh, you're not agile enough, or you got to be agile. Now, we could be talking about athletics, gymnastics, and things like that. But in the world of business, and in any world whatsoever, there is the ability to morph and pivot, or the ability to stay stagnant. So my question to you is, which one are you? Are you the one who stays stagnant, or are you the one who is able to insanely pivot to the world around you? A great example would be YouTube, right? Like I'm on YouTube right now. There are lots of trends on YouTube. And when the trends come out, you see those YouTubers who are agile, they catch the trend and they do something with it. They either put a video up or they comment on it. Very recently, there's a well-known guitarist who will remain nameless, who is in the middle of a scandal of stealing people's licks and people's music. Now, those YouTubers who are agile are pivoting to that story to ride the wave and maximize it. And that's what life is all about. You can either be by the wayside, or you could take advantage of the opportunities around you. Could be musical opportunities, could be business opportunities, could be you see a trend. Current trend that's going on in the world of business and tech is artificial intelligence. And some people are resistant to it. They're like, no, I'm not going down that AI path. It's horrible, it's bad, it's immoral. And other people are like, well, let me see what I can make of it. You know? So it's a mindset. A great example, a great musician who I love, because he's a prime example of pivoting, is Miles Davis. When the electronic music age came, Miles didn't say, well, all these non-jazzers, they are pedestrian thinkers. He didn't say that. What did Miles Davis do? He got Chick Corea, he got Keith Jarrett, he got Herbie, He got the big dogs. Even in the 70s and 80s, he knew to pivot to Marcus Miller. He got Marcus Miller on his team, and I mean, the rest is history. You get what I'm saying? Those of you music aficionados, you know what I'm talking about. So Marcus Miller wrote scores and scores of songs with Miles, electrifying, bringing that new zeal and zest and injecting it into jazz and giving us, jazz fusion. But, the thing about Miles, even though you would say it's jazz fusion, like when he did Time After Time, people said, sacrilege, how dare he do that? He ain't one of us anymore. They were wrong. He was agile, he was pivoting. Another example, another jazz musician who I really admire is Herbie Hancock. And Herbie, having been under the influence of Miles, didn't allow the electronic age to pass him by. You do know that Herbie studied electrical engineering, electronic engineering or something like that. So he wasn't going to let the electronic age pass him by. And at the end of the day, his biggest hit in the world is not, or it's not this one. Some of you know this one. Let me turn the reverb down. It's not this one. It's not Dolphin Dance. It's not, it's not that. You know what I'm talking about. So the idea of pivoting and being agile is all over, whether you're a TikToker, you're a YouTuber, you're a business person, you are in the world of projects, you're in the world, just anything. You can either stay by the wayside or you can pivot. And that's the thesis behind what I'm doing today, because everything I'm doing right now is totally unrehearsed. It is at the spur of the moment, it's made up, and it's to illustrate the concept of pivoting. The great Mike Tyson, he said, everyone has a plan, right? Everyone feels they know what to do until, boom! I got you. Until you're punched in the face. And then what do you do when you're punched in the face? You're on the canvas, looking up, wondering what to do next. You see, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face. So in the world of Agile, one of the mindsets that you should espouse in the world of Agile is to value a response to change over following a plan. You probably, if you're a jazz aficionado like I am, you probably have heard the story of Herbie Hancock and Miles Davis. So Herbie was jamming, he was playing, or whatever he was playing, and he hit what he would consider to be a wrong note. And Miles heard what happened, and being as intuitive as Miles was, he felt Herbie heard that as well and might be feeling a ways about it. And then he made it right by playing something to pivot to Herbie's mistake. And he now made the wrong note right. I could give you examples and examples of companies that pivoted and those that didn't. Let me give you another example. Blockbuster. Those of you who are old enough, some of you aren't. So don't look at me like, Phil, I'm not that young. Some of you aren't. But Blockbuster was a giant back in the day when DVDs were big. Some of you don't even know what DVDs are. But back in the day when DVDs were big, Blockbuster was a king of the hill. They had a rental store for DVDs, and you could rent them and watch movies for as long as you wanted and pay penalties and so on. But towards the end of this whole era of Blockbuster, electronic movies and transactions were becoming more and more popular, being online and watching movies. And they tried a very weak pivot. They got Enron, of all people, to partner with. Enron, of all people, to partner with. But they tried doing some weak partnership with Enron. That failed. And at that time, Netflix was just trying to take off. If you've read the story of Netflix, you know that it wasn't easy for them in the beginning. So they went to Blockbuster and said, hey guys, we do something similar to what you do. Will you buy us? And Blockbuster just looked at them like, We're not buying you, you filthy varmints. Go die in the corner. Roll over and die. We're not buying you. Like 50 million, just 50 million. No, we're not buying you. But Blockbuster was slow to realize that Netflix was already riding the wave, beginning to ride the wave. They had some assets. They could have, bought them. They looked appealing and they didn't. And you know the rest. It's history, right? I've actually still got my Blockbuster card and I just laugh anytime I see it because it's an example of a firm that didn't pivot. So I guess this next song I'm going to play is improvised. For those of you music aficionados, I'm using a Roland, very humble Roland keyboard. In my studio here, I have everything from the Yamaha DGX 670 to the iconic Trident Standard to the Motif XF8 to the Ensoniq in the corner to an Epiphone guitar to percussion. I play a lot of instruments and I love all of them. So this next song that I'm going to play is going to rely a little bit on my Roland, and we'll start off from here. This is one of my percussive delights. I'm going to start off there, and when I'm done here, I'll probably move over to the kalimba, and from the kalimba, we'll move on to the Roland. So, this is a sonic adventure. Let's have some fun as we listen in. Okay. Here we go. All right, my friends, I hope you've been having fun checking out a little bit of agility in music, applying the concept of just being free and having a great time. We are about transitioning towards the end. This is a 30-minute event. So the last song that I'm going to do is going to be something upbeat from the Roland. But let's talk a little bit more about agility, because I know some of you never really heard the term, and you're wondering what more there is to it. So when you think about the world as it is today, my friends, the factor that keeps you wanting to do more, that keeps pushing you to go beyond where you are right now, is human related. It's human related. A lot of you work hard, you show up, you're busting your tail, doing all this hard work. Whether you're a musician or you are a CEO, whatever you are, right? Most folks, janitors, cleaners, makes no difference. You're doing what you're doing to make a living. And a lot of times I want to wager that the way you're working is not because of you alone. You're working as hard as you are because you've got dependents. Some of you at least. There's some of you are too young to know what that's about. Yeah, you got to take Adulting 101. But with that in mind, when you understand that humans are the reason why you do what you do, you got to value people. You got to value people. So if you're watching me right now, I want you to know I value your viewership. You could have been somewhere else. You could have been doing something else. So I value your interaction. Okay? I value you watching. I value you subscribing. I value you tuning in, whatever you're doing. Some of you are more from the business world. Some of you are more from the music world. But whatever world you're from, I'm grateful. You see, part of agility is understanding that no one ever did anything great alone. No one. Even all the, the great YouTubers, the great TikTokers, the great companies. Apple. Where's my iPhone? Oh, where's my other iPhone? Oh, it's over there. Where are my iPads? They're all over the place. One of the reasons for Apple's success, maybe you are as well. You get what I'm saying? Because without you, the raving fan, Apple wouldn't be where they are today. The reason why Apple is so successful is because they value their customers and they keep bringing valuable products, valuable content, valuable items. I cannot tell you how excited I was when I saw that the iPhone now had the focus feature that gives a kind of bokeh effect. I was really excited when I saw that. That's value that they've delivered to us, the users. iPhone 15 and 16 have that feature, I believe. I'm not sure about 14. But the megapixel count and things like that, the clarity, those are all features that delight the customer. So the summary of Agile is we do what we do because we value humans. We value how humans interact. We value that over everything else. We value getting stuff done as opposed to promises. I know some of you are my students and you've been telling yourself, I'm going to finish that assignment. I'm going to get on to that book and I'm going to practice my scales. I'm going to practice my chords. And you ain't done it. I hope you will. I hope you will. Because, if you really want to get good in your music, you got to apply yourself. You got to practice. So part of agility is understanding that it ain't done till it's done. Promises aren't enough. You got to take action, make things happen. Another realm of agility is the give and take. And I see this a lot on social media with YouTubers. They collaborate and they've got a mindset of collaboration as opposed to striking deals and negotiating, which is important as well. But a lot of YouTubers, what I like about the community is there's a lot of partnerships, and you find an insanely huge YouTuber collaborating with a tiny little guy, and they're doing that because they've got a mindset of collaboration. So in order to be agile, if you want to be agile in life, you got to collaborate with people, And the last one, Mike Tyson said everyone has a plan until they punch in the face. And he's right, because when you punch in the face, your plan goes out of the window. You're not thinking about item 108 in your plan. You're just thinking, how am I going to get up from this canvas? All right, so that's pretty much the mindset, of agility. Being free, having a blast, having a ball, just like I am right here. I'm having a really good time. I hope the sound is coming across good because I spent quite a bit of time trying to get the sound right. But as you know, when sound is traveling over the internet, sometimes it comes across really bad. And that's why I'm recording this on so many other devices, so that if one fails, if StreamYard fails, at least I'll be able to redeem some of what I have. So let's go full screen here as we get towards the end of this adventure. We are on an adventure, if you didn't already know. So I said I was going to hit the kalimba, but I was agile and I changed my plan. Okay, I've played a few instruments today. I got this one here. This is a tribal flute made in Chile. You see, I'm using a little bit of secret sauce here, which you music people know. Putting a little bit of secret sauce, some reverb in here. And I can crank it way up, and it sounds like I'm in a cave somewhere. I turn off my main mic so you can hear it from that one. Yeah, so just in case you're wondering, what are all these things he's playing? I've got various bells and whistles here in my lab. I call it my lab. This is where I do my experiments. No animals were harmed, I promise. This is a kalimba, also known as a thumb piano. Can be a lot of fun to play. This strange looking object is a shaker. It's called a shekere. And it gives you some nice bites. This is from West Africa. I have a few other percussion instruments here. This is known as a djembe drum. Gives you that percussive element. And I have its baby over here. You can see. And over here, I have what is known as a talking drum. Talking drum. It actually uses a beta that's not here. But it said my ancestors used to play this drum. So this was the first instrument one of my uncles gave me. And that's about it. So my friends, we're going to round up this sonic adventure with one more track from the Roland GO keys. And this is called Embrace Fusion. I think I'll just probably move from Embrace Fusion through. Oh, and one last instrument. I didn't mention my beloved alto recorder. I play a lot of instruments. Maybe a different day I'll play that one for you. But let's round this up with Embrace Fusion. So I'm going to go from embrace fusion to mellow down to warm hot pop and then maybe hip scene, and we'll call it a night. Probably do a minute of each one. Here we go. All right, my friends, we are at the end of this little adventure. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it. Remember to stay flexible, pivot to the change around you. When you see opportunities, you got to seize them. That's the thesis of this whole thing. All right? I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're listening from and how you enjoyed it. Bye for now.